Now, the next topic that comes in, and the last topic, in fact, that comes in their state is a parameter. So basically, what is a parameter now? So parameter is something which is like an which is basically like an access to your more dynamic conditions. So basically, a parameter is something which is on a more dynamic field in Tableau. So parameter basically helps you to be more dynamic, more replacing. Like a parameter in a workbook can be a calculation for a date, for a string, for anything of that sort. And wherein you can basically write your calculations, can constant have a value creations and everything. So basically a parameter is nothing. Parameter is form of a dynamic of a work. So it's a workbook variable, such as you can create a variables in and make it more dynamic as a form of a filter. So it acts like a form of a filter only, but in a more dynamical way. So you can have variables in numbers, in dates, a string that you can replace the constant value in a calculation. So for example, when you want to make your calculations more dynamic in a way that you can apply a filter in your calculation to filter up that and make it more and more actually work and more dynamically working, then in that case we go ahead and create a parameter. So that parameter can be created on calculations, on filters, on any reference line, anything of that sort, you can create it. You can in fact make the parameters more interactive by using a parameter action. So that's parameter action is which helps your audience to change a parameter value directly through interacting, such as by clicking or by selecting on a mark. So it can be a drop down, it can be anything. So the steps to make the parameter is you can go to a data pane. So let's see an example of creating a parameter. So let's say I want to create a parameter for the reference date. Okay. Here I have created a parameter for a reference date. So if I go, either I can go to analysis and I can just go to, so in analysis, you see you have created field. Now, if you want to create a parameter, you can go to the arrow and you have a next option of create parameter. So from here, you can create a parameters like the way I have created of a reference state, which states that for your current value. So whatever the current value of the data or the date that you have. So basically it's a refresh date that till what date the data is being refreshed in your database. So I've created a refresh date of a value over here where it's a parameter. And herein, as soon as I change the date, let's say for 4th, and I enter it, the values get changed. Similarly, if I just go to the 8th one and I want to see the data, then accordingly the data will change. Now, this is how I created a parameter. But in this, obviously, I have created one. I have created also this data in this way. So this is how you create a parameter in your data sets or in the Tableau basically. We have screenshots available as well. So you can create a reference date, you can use a date, you can specify the value. So if you are taking a current value by default in a parameter, that means whatever the last or the updated value you will have, that will get configured. So once that is configured, you can go to the latest month and you can change it. You can display the format in which you want to specify it, and then it is good to go, and you can simply go ahead with your specific field. So in the specifications also, if you see, we have all list and range. So if I show you the parameter section where I was doing it, if you are creating a parameter, let's say a new parameter, you see all, list and range. So all is if you want to have all the values available, List is if you want to have a list of values available, like if I want to give it for a particular month, then a range where I want to set up a range of minimum, maximum, and a step size of setting. That what we do in a top 10 cases or top 10 cases or top 20 cases. That's what a parameter is all about. So that's what we say for the parameter. So it allows you to basically set all is like a control, which is a simple text field, a parameter control, which possible value, which helps you to select from a list of the values, and a range is something which helps you to control or lets you select a value within a specific range of the data. Okay. Let's say if you want to specify any range, for example, if you want to specify that, okay, my data should be between Jan 1st to 31st of December 29, then there will be a step size to create for that. Basically, 1 month control you will have, and these options will be available. Similarly, in case you want to refresh the parameter list or the value in the domain whenever your workbook's open or anything of that sort, so in that case, you can select the list, select when the workbook's open, notice it, and dynamically you can pull it out. So that time it gets grayed out and your data gets pulled and it gets refreshed. So you can click on OK. Now the parameter that was showing you the refresh date, it will show you the current date. So every time the data opens, it will show you the current or the refresh date from the data set. That's how your parameters basically work. So this is